Talk about Jay's Cowboys. All right, Jay, you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Any given Sunday, right? Isn't that what we've been saying the whole show?
It's the
So
theme
I'm
right now.
hoping
It's the
that
theme.
grace extends to my Cowboys as well.
So America's game, it was America's game of the week, and it was between the Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Packers were able to pull out the victory over the Cowboys 31-28. The Packers receivers finally decided to, hey, I'm gonna catch this football today. And you know what? Aaron Rodgers finally decided to say, hey, I'm gonna make some decent decisions today. But what were your thoughts on this game? And do you think Dak is the quarterback to take this team to the Super Bowl? K Walk, I'm gonna come to you first on this one.
I'm gonna answer your first question. I mean, your last question first. I don't know why everybody puts the pressure on Dak and makes Dak the scapegoat. I mean, when they're winning, no one says anything about Dak. No one says anything about Dak. As soon as they lose, it's Dak. It's Dak. It's Dak. I'm not a Dak guy. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I'm far from a Dak guy. But there were so many other things that took place in that game that caused them to lose that game. I mean, there was self-inflicted wounds. I mean, Mike McCarthy going for it on that fourth down. I'm yelling at the TV. I'm not. You would think I was you think I was a Cowboy fan when I said, Mike McCarthy, what are you doing? Don't do this, Mike. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I kept saying it, and then he did it. And then he has a nerve to throw down his headset like, Mike, that's your call, bro. That's your call. Why do you get mad at it? So, but anyway. As far as the Packers go and Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is back, and Aaron Rodgers told us last week, listen, I'm still the two-time defending MVP. I'm still the two-time MVP. And he's got that young kid, man, that I've been high on for a long time, and Christian Watson. I know he's been dealing with a lot of injury plague. Even he had a injury just running a route down, just running off the defender, and he gets kicked in the leg, and he almost had to leave the game for that. But he came back, and like you mentioned, Britt, he dropped a lot of balls, especially in the first game of the season. He dropped an easy go route, and that's their guy. That's their guy who they expect to stretch the field. He had not one and not two. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. So that's a coming out party for him. And Aaron Rodgers, we saw a different type of Aaron Rodgers. So we know who his go-to guy is, providing that he can stay healthy, and Christian Watson. But I put that more so on the Dallas, not just shooting themselves in the foot, and then Aaron Rodgers and those guys just took advantage of it. So I think that was so much Dallas losing the game as it was Green Bay winning the game, in my opinion. And I put that on Mike McCarthy for sure. I'm putting that loss on Mike McCarthy for sure.
I think the story of this game, not only Christian Watson, 3 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 107 yards, but the big Achilles heel with the Dallas defense is the rushing attack, right? I know we just spoke about this when it came to the Eagles. Aaron Jones had 24 carries for 138 yards and one touchdown. That's crazy. Over 200 rushing yards as a team. And then not only that, penalties once again, it's killing the Dallas Cowboys. I think they had 9 penalties for 83 yards, and then Dak had, I believe, 2 interceptions. Look, the Packers came out to play today. They came out and they showed up today because we don't know. They was missing the action all season long. I don't know what was going on, but it looks like maybe they could be getting things started going. Maybe this is somewhat of a rivalry to them, so they wanted to really up their playing. But I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to talk bad about the Cowboys, but as far as Dak, not today. I'm trying to keep it cool today. They already give me a headache. I'm trying to keep it cool today. All right?
Brett, let me ask you: Is that because your Eagles? Is that because your Eagles lost last night?
Absolutely not, because I think losing to the Packers is worse right now.
Oh wow!
Remember, we only got 1. They got 3, so we're good. But as far as the question of do I think Dak will be I don't know because I just feel like his decision making at times. I'm not a big fan of Mike McCarthy, and I said it from the beginning. If Sean Payton decides to become the head coach, this is a different team. This is a much scarier team in my mind. They already have their defensive coordinator. I don't trust Mike McCarthy. But sometimes I look at Dak Prescott and it's just certain throws that he makes. Looks like I don't know if he's throwing off the wrong foot, but it was a couple receivers that were wide open. He just threw it short or right into the ground. That doesn't help the situation. But like we said, any given Sunday, the Packers got them this Sunday. But I still think there's so much potential for this Cowgirls team. Oh, I'm sorry, there goes my little shot there for the Cowboys team. But anyway, Jay, this is your team. You talk about them.
No, look, I want to give the Packers credit. K-Walk, you've been on Watson for as long as I can remember. And then on Sunday I was saying, oh, this is what K-Walk was talking about. This is the excitement that K-Walk was telling me about this kid. So he definitely showed up, and you give the Packers credit. But to me, this loss is on Mike McCarthy. That's the one thing I was concerned about with the Dallas Cowboys, because when you look at it, penalties, as you guys mentioned, to me, that's coaching. You can coach penalties out of your football team. When I was at Penn State, we were always one of the least penalized team in all of college football because it was coached out of us. It was just something that we were not going to do. I don't think Mike McCarthy coaches that out of his players. And then K-Walk, you mentioned it, that decision to go for it on fourth down instead of kicking the field goal. It boggles my mind. This is the NFL.
Yes.
If you don't have a kicker that can kick a 50-plus yard field goal in today's NFL, if you don't trust your kicker to do that, then you got the wrong guy on the roster. I see kickers all the time kicking that 51, 52-yard field goal with no problem. So why he would not kick that, I just don't understand it. So I agree with you, K-Walk. To me, that loss is squarely on the decision-making of Mike McCarthy in game and his inability year after year after year to coach the penalties out of this football team. It's the same thing that bit him last year in the playoffs, a lack of discipline, and it showed up again on Sunday. As far as Dak goes, look, I think Dak can lead. If Jalen Hurts can lead a team to a Super Bowl, then Dak can. There's a slew of quarterbacks throughout the NFL, right, that I think Dak is on par with. So if they can do it, I don't think there's any question that he can do it. And like you said earlier, K-Walk, I don't put this loss on Dak. To me, this one's on that guy walking up and down the sideline, Mike McCarthy.